Ever wrestled with a product that seems determined to, work against you?
Oh,
Like a
absolutely.
thermostat with
Mm.
weird symbols, or maybe an app where you just can't find the basic functions.
Mhm.
It makes you wonder, right, why some things just feel right and others are just baffling.
Yeah, completely confusing.
Well, hopefully we can shed some light on that today, because this deep dive is all about understanding what makes good design tick or not tick.
Exactly. We're going to unpack some really key ideas from Don Norman's classic, The Design of Everyday Things.
Ah, foundational text.
Definitely. And we're using a great summary of 5 core lessons as our guide. Think of it as a quick way into the world of user experience.
Okay.
Our mission really is to look at these principles and figure out why some designs they feel intuitive and why others, well, they just lead to frustration.
So first up is improving comprehension. Seems pretty basic, right?
Sounds straightforward, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how often it goes wrong.
So what's the core idea here?
Fundamentally, it's about making sure that when you first see a product, you instantly get what it's for, and crucially, how you're supposed to interact with it.
Okay.
And this really comes down to 2 concepts that work together: affordances and signifiers.
Affordances. Okay, so that's like what the object lets you do, what it sort of invites. Like a chair affords sitting.
Precisely. An affordance is the perceived possibility for action. A flat surface affords putting things on it, but, and this is key, that affordance needs to be obvious.
Ah, and that's where signifiers come in.
Exactly. Signifiers are the clues, the visual hints, sometimes tactile ones, that communicate those affordances. They tell you how to use the thing.
Got it. Like the example you mentioned before we started recording, the circular doorknob.
Right. The round shape, the way it's attached, it
Okay.
just screams, grip and turn me.
Yeah, it signals rotation.
Good design uses those signifiers really well, so you don't even have to think about it.
Wow.
The intended use is just self-explanatory, no guesswork needed.
Makes perfect sense. You shouldn't need an instruction manual for a doorknob. Okay, lesson 2. Aligning intentions and actions. This sounds a bit more theoretical.
It can seem that way, but it's super practical. It's all about connecting what you, the user, want to achieve with how the system actually lets you do it.
Okay.
And also, importantly, how you understand if you've actually done it successfully. This involves bridging what Norman calls the gulf of execution and the gulf of evaluation.
The gulf of execution. What's that gap? What does that mean?
It's the distance between your goal, what you intend to do, and the actual steps the system makes you take to get there.
Ah.
So a really badly designed website might have a huge gulf of execution. You want to do something simple, but you have to click through 5 confusing menus.
Right, like trying to figure out an old VCR or something. That's a huge gulf.
Exactly. And the gulf of evaluation.
So what's that one?
That's kind of the flip side. It's the gap between what the system spits out, the feedback it gives you, and whether you can actually understand if you achieved your goal based on that feedback.
So if it just says error 503, that's not very helpful.
Not helpful at all. That's a wide gulf of evaluation. Good design closes both these gaps
Oh.
by making things visible, keeping the system's status clear, reducing the mental load, giving you immediate and understandable feedback, and, crucially, tapping into what you already know.
Like the bookmark example. Taking the physical idea of marking your page in a book
Yeah,
and applying it digitally. You already get the concept.
exactly. That leverages your existing mental models, your knowledge in the world, connects it to the digital task. It makes the whole interaction feel more natural, less like learning something totally alien.
Okay, moving to lesson 3. Understand the user. This feels like Design 101, almost. Know your audience.
It seems obvious, doesn't it? But think about how many products feel like they were designed in a vacuum, with no real person in mind.
True.
So the real takeaway here is how you understand the user. It means truly embracing user-centered design, not just paying lip service to it.
Right. It's more than just guessing what people want.
Much more. It involved real research, defining user personas.
Ah, yes, personas. Creating those detailed profiles of your typical users. Their goals, their tech savviness, their frustrations.
Precisely. Grounding your decisions in their reality, not your assumptions.
Mhm.
And really importantly, involving actual users early on.
Getting feedback during the process.
Yes, formative feedback, maybe even co-creation. Making sure the product actually fits their mental models and solves their problem effectively, not just building something and hoping it sticks.
That makes sense. Fix issues early, don't wait till the end.
Exactly. It's iterative.
Okay, lesson 4. Design for errors. I like this one. Because, let's face it, people mess up. I mess up all the time using things.
We all do. And what's great about this principle is the mindset shift. Instead of blaming the user.
Which is so easy to do. You're holding it wrong.
Right. Instead, good design anticipates errors. It means thinking about the edge cases.
Edge cases?
Yeah.
Like the weird scenarios.
Yeah, the less common situations where someone might get confused or click the wrong thing or misunderstand something. You try to foresee those through things like usability testing.
So you're basically trying to predict how people might accidentally break it or misuse it.
Kind of. And then you design to prevent those errors or at least make recovery easy. Constraints are a big part of this.
Constraints, like limiting the options, guiding the user.
Exactly. But in a helpful way. Not restrictive, but guiding. Constraints narrow down the possible actions, making the correct path more obvious.
Like the example of a bidirectional switch. You can only push it one of two ways.
Perfect example. The physical design itself prevents you from using it incorrectly. It removes ambiguity.
Right.
And if an error still happens, the system should give clear, helpful feedback, not just a cryptic message, and ideally, an easy way to undo it. No dead ends.
Makes sense. Don't make the user feel stupid for making a mistake.
That's the core idea. Be generous.
All right, finally, lesson 5. Design for accessibility. This feels more important now than ever.
Absolutely critical. Designing inclusively means remembering that the user isn't one monolithic person. It's a diverse group with varying abilities, backgrounds, and contexts.
Yeah.
Accessibility isn't an add-on or a niche thing. It's just good design. It needs to be baked in from the start.
And the example about using only color for error messages, that really hits home.
It's such a clear case, right?
Yeah.
Red for error, green for success, that immediately excludes people with color blindness.
A significant number of people.
Exactly. But add a simple icon, like a cross or an exclamation mark for errors, a check mark for success alongside the color.
And suddenly it's clear for everyone.
Instantly understandable. It's often small changes like that make a huge difference.
And the point about using existing design systems.
Yeah.
Like Google's material design or Apple's human interface guidelines.
Yeah, that's smart too. Leveraging those established systems helps with consistency, which users appreciate.
Because things look and behave predictably.
Right, but it also boosts accessibility because those systems often have accessibility standards built right in and tested. It saves time and effort too. Affordability, usability, accessibility, they often go hand in hand.
Okay, so let's quickly recap those 5 lessons we had.
Yeah.
Improve comprehension making, things obvious, through affordances and signifiers. Align intentions and actions, bridging those gulfs of execution and evaluation.
Yep.
Understand the user through research, personas, and early involvement.
Crucial.
Design for errors, anticipating mistakes, and using constraints helpfully.
Right.
And finally, design for accessibility, making sure it works for everyone, using clear signals and established standards.
That's a great summary. And the thing is, these aren't just, abstract ideas for software designers.
Because they apply everywhere.
Everywhere. Understanding these can change how you see everyday objects, how you create anything, really. It's about making things that don't just work, but that people actually find, well, pleasant to use, intuitive.
Which leads nicely to a final thought for you listening. As you go about your day, maybe tomorrow or the next day, try looking at things through this lens. The doors, the websites, the coffee machine, whatever. Apply these 5 principles. What works really well? Why? What drives you crazy?
And can you pinpoint which principle is being violated?
Exactly. It's kind of a fun exercise, actually.
Yeah.
You might start seeing design fails and successes everywhere. It definitely gives you a new appreciation for the thought, or lack thereof, that goes into the things we use constantly.